Welcome back to the Wanna Parlay podcast. I'm Lance Bell. To my left, maybe you're right, Jack Neuheisel. Jack, tell the folks who powers this beautiful show.
As always, our show is powered and brought to you by the gods that want to parlay themselves. They feed us. They keep us up at night. They are daddy. And if they're not your daddy yet, you're making a big mistake. If you go over there right now to the main event and see these prizes coming out, if you're a first-time listener, you understand it's all $2 buys at buy-ins. That's every single bet just cost you $2. The main event prizes right now, as you go down the list, 2,000, 1,000, 750, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100, 100, 100. People are at least 50 times their money left, right, and center. People are 1,000 timesing their money over and over again at Wanna Parlay. They're also offering the pick 7 over the weekend. You get 7 legs right, you go home with $777. Not a bad way to spend a Saturday and Sunday. And then, as always, the parlay of the day, which is free to enter. You heard me right. Free to enter. And you could go home with $100. We've had a lot of people take us up on that offer this week. You could be next. And if you're going to do so, you're going to want to stick around for the rest of the podcast because we're going to tell you all that's going right this weekend.
Yup. We're going to get you 100% right because we're going to start recapping our last weekend. I know it's been a little while, but our last weekend, we kind of went crazy, Jack, especially you.
Well, it started a little bit like the all-time and the overalls weren't great, but what we specialize in, we were combined 8-2. We were hot.
It was a masterclass, to say the least.
And, I'll say it about my picks. I'll just run through them really quick. But obviously, Michigan State on the Friday night comes in back doors. Syracuse forces overtime, wins it outright. You love to see it. Kyle McCord did throw a pick late in that day. It really pissed me off.
I know, that was brutal.
Yeah, but he saves me money coming back and winning that game in overtime. But the Saturday picks is what I was stoked on. SMU wins it outright, being 6.5 dog favorites. You can't be afraid to take your guys. You know your team. You got to trust it. Navy -10 at Air Force. Everyone got bogged down by the freaking Service Academy unders, and this game's got to be close because it's a rivalry game. Different Navy team, different Air Force team. Stoked on Army-Navy at the end of the year. Clemson -14.5. Thank God we got it when we did. It covered any line anyone got because I think it was 17 on Saturday. But yeah, Florida State's just not very good. Clemson's looking like a playoff team more and more every week. Cal +10 versus Miami. God damn, the number was great. I thought we were going to pull off the money line. Really disappointing to see. And then I'll be honest, I outsourced the Missouri pick. I had my dad on fucking TV talking about Missouri was going to go play great. I was like, you know what? I do think Missouri. I'm a drink guy. I like Eli Drinkwitz. Let's roll with Missouri. That game was over before it started. But go 4-1, and then the Ryan Williams overs. Lance, between that and Travis Hunter, we got to be touching that every single week. 71.5 yards receiving, anytime touchdown. Alabama loses to Vanderbilt, but Ryan Williams ain't Alabama. He's Ryan Williams. We're going to be taking him for the foreseeable future.
That Alabama Vandy game was absolutely bonkers. I mean, I know we're a little late talking about it, but holy shit, Jack. Vandy.
Dude. First of all, points to Clark Lee, member of the Rick Neuheisel coaching tree. You got to love that. Right. And then Diego, our boy Diego from New Mexico, is officially my favorite guy in sports.
Dude, he's so awesome.
Vanderbilt's fucking turn.
He's like Walmart Johnny Football for Vanderbilt right now.
Exactly. He's tomato
so
can
good.
Johnny Football.
I heard he was an animal at New Mexico State. I mean, this is my first time hearing about this guy. Do you know anything about him?
Dude, I know next to nothing about him. It honestly, this is going to sound like I'm patting myself on the back. It's meant to be self-deprecating. He reminds me of me playing football. It looks terrible. It just looks terrible. But it's effective, Dude, he throws a catchable ball, he picks up first downs. It just looks like shit the entire time.
It's hilarious. I mean, they converted so many third downs in that game. It wasn't even. I mean, Bama came storming back. Like, it wasn't like it was like a weird lopsided low scoring game or one of those. Like, Vandy just played big. They converted. They did everything right.
Vandy played their ass off. Clark Lee is one of the best defensive coordinators in the country. And so, you get the timely sack, the sack fumble there when all of a sudden Alabama was in a one-possession game and they're on the 40 going in. So big-time points to Clark Lee. And then Jerry Kill, who kind of manages their offense over there. Jerry Kill's a super respected, unbelievable X's and O's guy. Was at Minnesota for forever, kind of returned over New Mexico. Poor guy had seizures on the sideline, which is the only reason he's not really a head man anymore. He had like a couple times. You can go look it up. It's fucking not fun to watch.
Yeah, holy shit.
It's a guy having a seizure in the middle of a game.
Well, shout out to him. He went in and got a fucking great win.
Yeah, well, so this is why he's been at New Mexico. People forget how good a coach he is. And when he basically took over the offense, Clark Lee was like, the offense is yours. And so he was calling recruits, Diego being one of them, and said, I'm the head coach of the offense. We're going to come. I'm going to let you ball out here. Let's go have fun. And all of a sudden, they're rolling.
Yeah, they just beat number 1 Bama. It was I saw the meme of the picture of the Vandy fans pointing to the scoreboard against Alabama. I was like, no one ever thought they were going to see that in their lifetime ever.
I saw a old meme that got like brought up. It's a video of a Vanderbilt D lineman who's like, "This is real." It's like they're coming off some bullshit. Fucking, they beat Youngstown State or some nobody fucking team.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
This is SEC football. You want to know about SEC football? Come to Nashville. Bama, you're next. They go get beat fucking like 59-3. And it's like.
He finally got his redemption. Holy shit, that's awesome.
Dude, the number 1 story for Vanderbilt athletics the last couple of years is they don't have a softball team because they're the number 1 applied to school for women in the country. And they don't have a softball team. So everyone's been like, enough of the football, invest in softball. This is what you guys need to do. So it's not been fun. And then the promotion relegation, everyone's been talking about what the next generation of college football is going to look like. And the go-to example is always, well, and then fucking Vanderbilt doesn't just get to keep being in the SEC. So Vanderbilt's been dealing with some tough press clippings recently. It's good to see him bounce back. Fuck yeah, Clark Lee.
Yeah, it's a way to hang in there, Vandy and Vandy fans. I mean, you guys, I can't imagine what it's like. I can't imagine just being dog piss at football every single season you exist and finally getting a win, and not only a win, the win over Alabama. Holy shit, that was crazy. People are firing in the chat. Papa, he says, give me the Ducks. We'll get to that point. We'll get to that part of the show sooner or later. Shout out Goofy. Shout out everyone. All right, going down into it. And you covered all your picks. You went 8-2, Jack. That was impressive work. I mean, and I was fading you on some of those, and I took L's. I took fucking punches to the jaw, and I deserved it. And I deserved every single one of them.
We're going to get to it, but that's why I'm excited for what we're going to do with the show going forward, that we're finally going to get on each other's team.
Yeah.
All this bullshit backdoor, you're not telling me fading. I can't.
Yeah.
For my co-host.
with what we got going, there's no more being against each other. We have to, but I will say we're going to have to come to agreements. We're going to have to reason with both sides. If one way sways the other, we might have to listen. I know after that weekend in college football, maybe I just listen. I just listen.
Listen to me on Saturdays. I just listen to you on Sundays. I'm going through your picks from last week here. You went 4-1 on Sunday.
Yeah, I had a great Sunday, but
you're reporting 6-4 over the weekend, but 2 of those are because you're fading me. If you just get on my fucking team, this is 8-2.
Yeah, I'm gonna run through my picks. I had UNLV -6. Dude, that game was gross. I can't believe UNLV didn't come away with that one. That was just brutal.
I didn't exactly win for the reasons I thought I was. UNLV looked like UNLV still, but Syracuse is a good team. Kyle McCord's a good player.
And
watch out for Syracuse. Yeah. They're going to spoil some seasons. They're a tricky team left on. The ACC is interesting right now. The schedules would show that it's top heavy. You got Miami and Clemson, obviously, with SMU kind of being the pesky team right behind them. And none of those 3 teams play each other. So you're going to get.
I didn't know that.
We're going to need some pesky, petty losses down the road, especially if you're an SMU fan like myself. So I'm banking on it. Teams like Syracuse, teams like Pitt, teams like Cal. Let's fucking go.
There you go. But yeah, no, that interception that McCord threw, that was an incredible play by the defensive player. I can't believe when he turned his head like last second. I can't believe he located the football. I just wanted to shout that guy out. That was incredible.
That's a tough bet, dude, to go no picks in a game. I was like, because all game he played exactly how I thought he would, and then fucking
just what? Yeah, just a tough one. Yeah. Just a tough one. Oregon -23.5. I learned my lesson again. Oregon's just they're a good team. They're not a great team. Great teams cover. They don't cover. That fucking late and the late field goal. They get a penalty, Jack. They get a penalty. Go score a fucking touchdown. What the hell are you doing? What do we? You just accept it, take the field goal. That's it. What are you doing? If you score a touchdown, I understand. You're trying to win. You're fighting. It is what it is. But the field goal was measly dog shit, and I'm not here for it. So there's my rant about fucking Michigan State and whoever those pieces of shit are.
Jonathan
Spartans.
Smith, he hates the Ducks. Aiden Childs can't play. That's an important thing to know going forward. Aiden Childs can't play.
Hey, that's a very valid point.
He's bad. I keep thinking he's going to wake up. He's not. He's a bad player.
It's tough. It's tough. Las Vegas Aces -3.5. That was a great call out. Championship teams don't get swept. If you're the former champions, you don't get swept. You play tough, and that's what they did. I don't even know what's happened in that series. I assume they lost, but
Dude, they did lose. Now we're getting Aces versus Lynx in the final.
No, Liberty Lynx.
Or Liberty,
yeah.
Liberty Lynx.
I mean, it's easy to get mixed up when it's just who the hell.
I've not watched a lot of Liberty or Lynx ball this year, candidly, but that feels like Liberty all day.
Yeah, that's what I would think too. I mean, INSQ and Breonna Stewart are going to get their first ring. Good for them. And that's all I got about WNBA. I can't believe I named 2 players on a single roster. All right, carrying on. Clemson -14.5. Bang. We were on that together. Michigan money line. Shit, man, that just hurt. I really thought that was a good bet. I really thought I was going somewhere. I should have known it would have been a toss up, but
that was a tough one. One that I kind of dug myself a hole on. I went with that because I thought it was right, and then I kind of went on the live bet trying to stay right. I never got a place where I could get that honey hole where you've got action on both sides, and that was just one where Vegas had it right.
Yeah,
that line was accurate. They were begging you to take Michigan, but it was just trust Vegas, go with Washington when it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, and you're 100% right. So that wrapped up, my college/WNBA picks. Going into NFL, yeah.
That's not why we pay you. We pay you for Sunday.
Let's go. Jets +2.5. I mean, that was just tough. London game. Aaron Rodgers got pieced exactly like I thought he wouldn't by Brian Flores in that defense. I mean, 3 picks. That's just brutal. Can't win a lot of football games throwing 3 picks. But
that was a shitty way to start the day because you kind of wake up and the Jets are down 10. And I was like, well, shit, this whole day sucks. All of a sudden, felt like I was giving away all my Saturday money.
Yeah, no, it was brutal to wake up to that. But Sunday Night Football, we were right. When the Steelers are favored, and I saw them favored this weekend, by the way, but when the Steelers are favored, get away. We took the Cowboys +2.5. I mean, it wasn't free, it wasn't easy, but they got away with the win. Yeah, that was a little scary, but got a win there. Giants +7. They won. They won outright.
Comfortably.
Yeah, that was a pretty good showing from the Giants. Like I said, don't give up on Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is that guy. Yeah, maybe that was a little much, but
I heard a great nickname for Daniel Jones this week because he was Danny Dimes when he got drafted early. And Jason McIntyre on the Colin Cowherd show called him Danny Loose Change, which I think is spot on.
Hey, honestly, that's pretty good. But hey, he delivered a win. He needed it, and good for the Giants. I know a Giants fan, and he's had a sad life for a little while.
It is, but they got the 2 Super Bowls growing up.
Exactly. That's especially beating Tom. Yeah, we don't need to get started on that. Moving on. Yeah. Commanders -3.5 versus the Browns. Jack, Jaden Daniels. That's all I gotta say. Jaden Daniels.
It's my favorite pick you've got going for this Sunday. Jaden Daniels might be the MVP this year, straight up.
And I honestly don't see why not. If you think about it, how much change at roster other than quarterback is there, and the difference in records they're about to have? What is the definition of the most valuable player?
If I had a vote, I still think it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They're undefeated with less. He just looks like he's just like kind of the perfect American right now. He's kind of replaced Tom Brady as like the guy we would send to meet the aliens if we had one guy.
Yeah.
Where it's just him. He's just perfect. He continues to nail it. Saw him at the Royals-Yankees game as a part owner of the Royals.
Yeah, I saw that. And he's just,
27.
you see the clip of him getting in his buddy's face as a Yankees
Yeah.
fan? It's like, you don't want it. He's just yelling at him and shit.
Dude, he's kind of a jock. He's kind of a meathead, but that guy's unbelievable. So he's probably still my MVP. But Jaden Daniels, man, I am not. I'm going to bet on him until the wheels come off.
Yeah.
I love the take. He was in control the entire game. Dan Quinn's becoming one of my favorite coaches in the NFL.
He was
Cliff
he was the
Kingsbury-
Falcon. He was the Falcons coach with Matt Ryan, and when they made a run for the Super Bowl, right?
Correct. Yeah,
He's a good coach. I mean,
he's a damn good coach. And in the last couple of years, he's been the DC for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Cowboys last couple of years, it's been excellent. And this year, it's like borderline non-existent. So Dan Quinn, and then I think Cliff Kingsbury, we talked about it a lot on the show because I think he's going to end up being the Bears head coach, but he's going to be the coordinator darling of the offseason. And it'll be interesting to see what he does because I've seen a couple of those shots in the locker room from Washington. That looks like a genuinely good time. And it's a bunch of guys in there. You got the young quarterback, obviously, but across the board outside of him, you got a lot of kind of journeymen between Dan Quinn and Cliff and some of these guys that, like, I don't know, man. Cliff gets 20 plus mil on his buyout from Arizona. Like, I don't know that he needs the dough or the job or the spotlight. I think he kind of likes this role he's got, just calling plays with Jaden Daniels. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I you brought up a sneaky Bears head coach. You brought that up, and I kind of like that call out. I mean, it'd be interesting, and he's had success. So I guess you'd call it success with Caleb at USC. I don't know, they weren't that successful, but yeah, I mean, he was there with them, and I guarantee they had a great relationship.
Yeah, he had very little to do with that, but 100%. Everyone's going to draw the connection that they had the year together. And then generally speaking, Cliff's an air raid guy, and Caleb's success and Heisman campaign came under Lincoln Riley, who's an air raid guy. And what Washington's doing great on offense right now, which is why Jaden Daniels' completion percentage is breaking all rookie records and kind of leading the NFL currently, is because they're giving him easy one-man reads, get the ball out of his hand quick. And then the beauty, which get to make these guys look like geniuses, is when they want to push the ball downfield and have extended protection, Jaden Daniels just makes you right. Jaden Daniels just buys you any extra time, gets out of the pocket, picks it up with his legs, does whatever. It just makes you right. So that fucking guy's a star. They're playing him exactly right. I'd be jealous if I were a Bears fan right now. But yeah, dude, let's keep betting on him until the wheels come off.
No, 100%. There's no reason not to. But to sneak in, my last pick, that was also a W. Bears -4 against the Panthers. They beat the shit out of them.
100%. And it's I never know quite what to do here because I think that Panthers Raiders game 2 weeks back was an anomaly. I think the Panthers are the worst team in the league.
Yeah, I
clearly.
agree.
So I don't know whether to read that as progression for Caleb. Like now all of a sudden they're a little bit more trustworthy coming into this week. I think that is because he looked damn good. Found DJ Moore a little bit. Finally was pushing it. They're able to move the ball consistently, and then their defense is just that legit. So
yeah, and they're getting some run game, which is huge for a young quarterback. That's what I've noticed. Swift has started to come alive the past couple weeks, and that opens up the field tremendously for
100%. This young quarterbacks. With Justin Fields that started sleepy and kind of had to jerry rig together some wins given the limitations of the offense. They were trying to run an NFL, traditional offense with Justin Fields, who obviously it's not his game.
Yeah, can't do that.
Utilize his legs, give him simple reads, do that sort of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see with the Bears going forward because last season this is kind of where they found their rhythm. So what's success defined as this year for the Bears? Is it the playoffs? But they need to win. I mean, they're going to be around a 500 team, so it'll be interesting when they're getting all these favorable lines, these 1 point or plus point lines, betting on the Bears going forward.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I have the Bears and Commanders once again in my picks coming up this next Sunday, but that's for a little later in the show. I think we start with our Thursday picks. Jack, what do you think?
100%. Tonight, Thursday, let me make sure I've got my stuff pulled up.
I can start.
No, I'm ready to go. I like the Yankees in baseball. I know we spend a lot of their time talking about football. We got Garrett Cole going in his second start. He gets banged up in his first one. The Yankees do not want this game going 5 back to the Bronx with Carlos Rodon on the mound against Reagan's, a left-handed baller for the Royals. They traditionally hit left-handed pitching like shit. Garrett Cole's their ace. Garrett Cole's going to go 7 shutout innings tonight. Yankees are moving on. Then I got 49ers -4. We're going to be at odds in both these first 2 picks. It's a get-right game for the 49ers. I know the line makes me feel like it's got to be the Seahawks. I just don't see the Seahawks being able to stop the run tonight. And so I see this game getting to that kind of, 10-point margin a lot and trading kind of right there. So I don't feel good about backdooring with the Seahawks. I think I just want to take the better team and go with the 49ers -4. And then the only college action to pay attention to tonight, James Madison, they come off their first loss of the season last week, -7.5 versus Coastal. On paper, this game should be closer than that. So this is one where I'm trusting Vegas a little bit. And this Coastal Carolina team is not the Jamie Chadwell Coastal Carolina team. So there's a little bit of past season bias. People are getting infatuated with the Chanticleers. It's not that team of old. James Madison's a legit bona fide 10-win team. I like James Madison to cover the 7.5 tonight.
No, I'm a huge fan of that James Madison pick. I really don't know much about these teams, but JMU just seems like a team after that loss, especially, is a team that covers. Going into my Thursday night, yeah, we are on a little bit of opposites. I do have the baseball pick in there. Viewers, I have no idea about anything baseball. Yankees. I just was fading the what did my buddy call them? I don't know, but yeah, the Yankees, the Yanktown Bombers. No,
Bronx Bombers.
Bronx Bombers. What the? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's how much I don't know baseball. I don't even know. I don't know anything like that. And people in the chat calling out Bears defense kind of cooking. DeAndre Swift is just the worst running back in the league. That's a horrible call out. That's why you're in the chat. JMU are frauds. Oh God. Wow. These people.
Where's the venom? Who said JMU are frauds?
These are people just chirping to chirp. They're just going against everything that Swift has been heating up. Now Swift has been heating up. That's exactly what we called out. But going into my Thursday night picks, we're getting distracted. That's me. I got Seahawks +4 because I think divisional primetime game. I'm just betting the points to keep it close. I always think these games kind of generally trend close. You were saying bounce back game for the 49ers. Well, fuck, the Seahawks need a bounce back game after getting an ass whooping from the Giants. So I'm like, that's another one. I'm like, both these teams are coming out with a little blood. So I like 100%. Seahawks +4, but either or. Royals money line. That's a heart pick right there, like I was saying. And then Stars money line. I'm bringing in NHL. I'm trying to become an NHL fan. I'm trying to get my knowledge up. I was former Kings fan. Went to a game. They were doing a little too much. I didn't like what they were supporting there, so I went to Anaheim. I'm a Ducks fan. Going to their game Wednesday night versus Utah, the new hockey team. So I'm a hockey guy now. Don't sleep on it, but I like Stars money line.
I might have to go to that hockey game with you. I might become a Ducks fan with you.
Dude, they're 2 years away from being great. We're buying in at the perfect time. They got a young core with Zegras, a couple other guys my Canadian buddy told me about that I can't remember off the top of my head, but I've been told they got a great young core that they're building around. They're going to be legit here in the next couple years. And they got a lot of flexibility in their cap room. So, that's huge for playoff teams when they can just, that's the weird part about the NHL. How about they can just have someone hurt and it clears their cap space so they can just lie and have someone hurt and just bring it. Hockey's a little weird. I'm definitely going to have to learn.
Too much foreign influence in the NHL, Lance. That's your problem. The original teams were all Canadian. They based their government off France. If I know anything about the, how state governments are run, I'm telling you, international influence is a problem. Go ask Louisiana. They're all fucked up.
Oh, that's too good. All right, so those were my Thursday picks. Just gonna rattle them off real quick again. Seahawks +4, Royals money line, Stars money line. I like it.
Seahawks, I think, is an interesting game. I'm going to sit tight, honestly, and play that one live. I'm not going to add it either way. If I were going to take one thing to tack onto a parlay, I'd take 49ers money line. I do hate this 4 number, though. I do
Yeah.
hate this 4 number. I really think it's a field goal game. I just hate the idea that I'm going to be sitting there on the back door from the Seahawks rather than the 49ers. Royals, really quick. Can you name 3 Royals players? If you can, I'll switch my bet to the Royals.
Do I have a Royals jersey anywhere? Damn. I mean, I have been watching their game. I haven't remembered a single name. I'm not baseball. I'm not.
Okay.
I don't know. I could probably tell you.
Yankees starting lineup: Gleyber Torres, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge,
I could name
Wells, Giancarlo Stanton, Jazz Chisholm, fucking Anthony Volpe, Oswaldo Cabrera, and Verdugo bringing us home from left field. I know this Yankees team.
Is it is Iglesias on the Royals?
He's not amongst the 3. I can.
Okay. So we're both okay.
Perez, I got Bobby Witt Jr. I got Massey. I got fucking what's it? Gurriel. Gurriel's playing first.
You're locked in on baseball. You know what? I might have to. I don't think I'm switching the pick. I think I'm just yoinking the pick. Chat. If you're gonna take something, Seahawks +4, Stars money line. It's not gonna win you a lot of money, but it will win you money on Wana because they pay a lot more than any traditional sportsbook or casino. Shout out them. All right.
Moving the Yankees money line's expensive. I wouldn't take it. I just tack it onto a parlay. The Yankees are going to win. Garrett Cole's going to pitch 7 shutout innings, and the Yankees are moving on.
Wow. So you have confidence in Bronx Bombers.
I'm certain the Yankees win tonight. I'm certain Garrett Cole plays well, and the Yankees win
tonight. All right. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Friday's picks. I'll just hop in, get in there, and Utah -5.5 against Arizona State. I just think Utah is a lot better. I don't know. I know they lost to U of A, but when I look at this, I just like Utah -5.5. I think they're gonna kind of bounce back and steamroll this team, like a weird 30-7.
Yeah, if it's the Utah of old versus the Arizona State of old, 100%. This isn't even easy. This line would usually be 24.5. So it's an interesting year. They've announced that Cam Rising is going to play in this game, which will be his first game back in a long time. Traditionally, that makes this thing easy. It's Cam Rising, no doubt. Friday night, ASU, this place is going to be rocking. I'm in Arizona right now. I can tell you the buzz is real. They're overachieving right now, and they think they can pull something off because the Big 12 is just so wide open. They're delirious out there. Really? They have no chance to win the Big 12, but they think they do currently. I get a little nervous taking Utah in this spot. I kind of like taking ASU here, but it might just be a stay away altogether.
That's exactly what you were hinting. I was like, this might be a stay away. Keep going, though.
No, it's just let's wait and see what Cam Rising looks like because his legs have been shot since he's returned at all this season. Even when he was playing the opener, he didn't have his legs, which makes him just slightly different player. And then I don't think his injury is going to hamper him as a player at all. It's just a matter of getting the reps when you're playing an Arizona State team that's playing again. They're basically their Super Bowl. You get Friday night national TV, night game home. That place is going to be absolutely jumping. Another thing to think about too, Utah is going to be coming from the mountains, the high altitude, but they're going down to play in the desert where it's probably going to be about 100 at kickoff.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty damn good point because it's still, I mean, you're there. It's still hot as shit in Arizona, isn't it?
It is 110 walking to your car. You can't park on the fucking street. It's October. It's October. I'm about to fucking get Al Gore in on the call here to start waxing poetic about fucking carbon emissions. It's too goddamn hot here.
I'm going to be honest. I mean, I used to live in Tucson. I don't miss it one bit being back here in Southern California. Or at least I don't miss the heat. No, I don't miss any of it. Honest, I'm going to be honest. I don't miss any of it.
So possible stay away, but the game we both love tomorrow, staying on the baseball theme, Padres. Padres are going to win the World Series.
Wow, you made that call out a while back. I remember you saying, I think even before we started this show, you made that call out a while back. When it was me, you, and Joe Bags when we were talking, it was getting chirped around. But yeah, no, I just think the Dodgers, I mean, I'm an Angels fan, so fuck the Dodgers, but I think they're frauds, and I think they choke in big time games, and this is indeed a big time game.
They just don't have the pitching.
That's what I've heard. Their bullpen is hurt.
Bullpen's trash. Starting pitching is getting rocked up. It's been a little bit hurt. No Clayton Kershaw this year. Walker Buehler's getting knocked around. Gave up 6 the other night.
And I don't even think half of those were his fault. There was that play by Machado that he like kind of leaned in front. Hey, some people call it dirty. I have a buddy that had a lot of money on the Dodgers, so he was fucking fired up about Manny Machado. But I was like, that's winning baseball. That's how you play the game. I mean, you do what you can to get a win.
It's a legal play, by the way. It's a legal play.
Yeah, but so you can't throw up a limb, but you can kind of, like.
You can't throw up a limb and intentionally block a ball, nor could you theoretically jump in front of that. But the base path is determined by the runner, where the runner can set whatever line he wants. If he wanted to run to right field before going to second base, he can. It's just when whoever's covering second gets the ball and goes to administer a tag, that's when the base path's determined. That's why if you're in a pickle, you can't go run around because now they're trying to tag you.
Now
it's the shortest path to the base.
Fuck. The more you learn, the more you know. That's pretty damn good. Good work.
Manny Machado gets a bad rap, man. My guy Trevor Plouffe has been talking recently of like he's respected by everybody in baseball. The media tries to make him a fucking villain. He is a good guy.
And he made that little lean in that route, that was a great play. So, but that was
all day. Dude. So
Padres
is hotter than shit. Their bats just top to bottom. And then great respect to the Padres. This is the team that lost Juan Soto and Blake Snell and got better.
Yeah.
Impressive as hell. And their bullpen has been lights out, which is the biggest thing. Last night, they gave up some late runs to the Dodgers. Dodgers win comfortably. But before last night, there had not been a run scored in the series beyond the third inning.
No, I noticed that. I heard it. No. I think one of them mentioned it. So whatever that was last night, that's why I wasn't swayed or influenced. I was like, I feel like the Padres kind of knew. They're like, all right, you guys take this one. We'll go beat you in LA. Yeah.
Dodgers are the better team. The Padres are the hotter team. And in the MLB postseason, you got to take the hotter team.
I agree. All right. Moving on. Saturday picks. I'm going to go through my Saturday. As for my Saturdays aren't as serious because I'm not great at all during Saturdays, and you're the man when it comes to Saturday football. So I'm going in Clemson minus 20.5 at Wake Forest. Clemson's a great team. Good teams win, great teams cover. And they're a great team. They're going to cover. They've been covering each game they've played since Georgia.
Yep. Wake Forest isn't very good. They just won a big one last week. Congrats to them. They spot us some points here on the spread. But this isn't the Sam Hartman-led Wake Forest team that was ranked and threatening stuff. Clemson's got some trap games coming up on their schedule. I don't expect this to be one of them. 20.5's a ton, but you're taking the better team here. I would never be taking Wake Forest to cover this number. So I like the side you're on.
The chat has taken wind that we are talking about Saturday, and I'm just seeing ducks. Go Cats. Everyone's fired up. Shout out you guys. I'm going to get to those games. Yeah. Don't worry.
Ducks and Cats.
I like Oklahoma plus 14.5 against Texas. That's a lot of points in the Red River rivalry, as you probably understand.
Lance, it's the bet of the week. That's the best pick all week, college or NFL.
Yeah, just got to fight. I mean, and if you lose, it doesn't hurt because you're like, you know what? I thought this was I thought this was right. It's a lot of points, and if Texas comes out and beats their ass, and so be it. You got me. That's how I look at it.
I will say, between Alabama beating Georgia and Alabama floundering around last weekend's Vanderbilt, Oregon, Ohio State looking, not they're one out, so it's not like they've looked bad, but underwhelming. Both of them, both underwhelming at quarterback, especially. Texas really has looked like the best team in college football, but the Red River rivalry. Go back through the matchups. I mean, the outliers are the one-sided games. Even in games where teams were coming in with 2-3 records against undefeated teams, this game is always interesting. It's going to be played in the Cotton Bowl. Both teams are going to come in playing like they're the underdog, but expecting to win. 14.5 is way too many. It's Oklahoma all damn day here. And by the way, let me tell you about pressure going in here. No one's going to hold Oklahoma's feet to the fire. They're already overachieving in this season, and people are stoked about what they've got going on. If Texas loses this game, Quinn Ewers has rushed his recovery to come back and be ready for this game. I'm telling you what, if Texas is down 10 in the third quarter, do we officially see Arch Manning? Do we go to that era?
That would be unfucking real. That would be cinema.
Remember, this is the game that Caleb Williams
Yeah.
introduced himself to the world.
Yeah, I 100% right. It's when he took over for Rattler down 10 or 17, something like that. And he was on, he never looked back.
Rattler was productive, but not the Heisman candidate we thought he'd be. Quinn Ewers, productive, not the Heisman candidate we thought he'd be. The darling recruit. I'm just telling you, if this game starts Oklahoma's way, they might make that move to Arch. This is a weird game for Texas. 14.5 is way too much for Oklahoma.
That's going to be a damn good football game, Jack. That's going to be a damn good game.
It's because you're bringing this up, it's not in my picks, but everybody should go put that bet in right now.
Oklahoma points.
I don't even think it's a mistake, Lance, to get a small piece of Oklahoma money line for how juiced that the value is.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, that's a pretty good point. Those odds are probably massive.
Oh yeah,
and it's the Red River. I mean, like we know. All right. Next one is the Ohio State Oregon game. I got people in the chat. They're spamming Ducks. I got them all over the place. People talk. Oh, I see LSU is a lock. So my pick for the Ohio State at Oregon game, I'm taking Ohio State -3. I think Dylan Gabriel loses them that game. I'm not impressed with him. And if I had to pick one, I'm going Ohio State. I'd well bet it. I'd put everything on it. I just think Ohio State. So for my people
once again, you're on the right side here. And let's go back. The last two matchups, Oregon's won this game at Ohio State too. So this is payback time for the boys in the Ohio State locker room. I don't see, they play in the big house. They play in Happy Valley. They play in big time venues. Autzon's as good as anywhere, but I don't expect that to be such a difference maker in this game. Once again, it's points, but you're on the right team here. Ohio State's the better team. Now, as we look at it, both quarterbacks have been underwhelming. We should really go peek at what the over-under is right before that game starts and be thinking on the underside.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I think Vegas will know because I will say Oregon's defense is damn good. They're in Eugene. I could see Oregon winning. Don't get me wrong.
It's a Dan Lanning coach team. Their defense is going to play really well. Ohio State's not going to score in the 30s. This game's going to be a tight game. The difference is just going to be who's the better quarterback on third downs.
100%. And I'm going to be honest. I've seen this Dylan Gabriel guy make too many mistakes against just crummier rosters. And I'm like, dude, I can't do it. I can't put my money on you. Prove me wrong.
Speaking of the Red River Rivalry, the last game of this magnitude that Dylan Gabriel played in was the Red River Rivalry last year.
And he
played his best game.
And he balled. Yep, that is a valid point. I think he had 100+ yards on the ground. I think he was so he does have passion. Shit. I'm not looking back. Ohio State, the Ohio State University. Buckeyes, baby.
Giving a little love to Papa and the Ducks in the chat there. Just trying to give them. I gave them the out last week too. I tried to give them a case as to why they'd cover.
Oh God, the chat is firing. They are not happy with me. I'm getting boos. I'm getting ooze. Papa's saying Will Howard has the same ass stats. He's not. I mean, hey, it's a valid point. I am not saying Will Howard's that much better, but man, I just have a funny feeling that Ohio State wins this football game. Moving on. I like USC to cover against Penn State at home. I mean, they've just had some brutal losses. They know they need to win. Regardless, I don't know if they win the game, but I know they're going to keep it close. They fight in the fourth quarter. They've been fighting in the fourth quarter of these games. So I like USC +4 at home.
I'm always underwhelmed by Penn State. So I don't know if this is a little home cooking going on here, but every year they seem to not win their massive games on the schedule. Every year it's they win out with the exception of Michigan and Ohio State in their big games. This is the game of the year for USC. This is the game. They're coming off this loss. There is a back door for them to still get in the playoffs. We talked about Ohio State, Oregon playing this week. Other losses are going to get handed out to the top end of the Big Ten Conference. This is a must-win for USC, a must-win for Lincoln Riley, who's all of a sudden getting real hot. His last 2 years have been bad, and all of a sudden now we go start peeling back on the curtain on some of his success, and we start attributing it to Bob Stoops and other people, whoever it may be. USC's defense has been excellent. They're better than UCLA's defense that gave Penn State tons of trouble in that first half. And then I think they have the best defensive staff in the country. So if they can get off to a decent start, that'll be the key. Don't put yourself in position like you were Minnesota, like you were Michigan, where we have to have perfect execution in the second half to win the game. We need a big first quarter from USC, but absolutely outside of the Oklahoma bet, I'm taking USC money line, actually. I'm foregoing the points and hammering the Trojans to come back and win this one.
Fight on Trojans. Wow, that's a good one. Wow, I got a couple. Oh my God, I forgot about that game, and I don't even have it up in live. I don't have it as one. I'm going to have a sixth pick on Saturday. So I'll read what I've already had. Boise State minus 20.5 at Hawaii. I know it's big time zone, big flight, all of it. Dude, that Heisman, I'm calling him the Heisman now, Gentry, or Genty.
Yeah.
He is unreal. That dude is disgusting. And Hawaii, I mean, you don't stand a chance. This guy's running for 200 in the first quarter on you. Like, you just give him the ball, he's gone. He makes plays I haven't seen in a long time from the running back position. And he did it again. It's not like he's just playing shitters. He did it against Oregon. He almost single-handedly took down Oregon himself. He's incredible. He's incredible. I have a question. Do you think there's any chance we see a running back in the top 5 pick in an NFL draft ever again? And will it be this guy?
It won't be this guy because he's not versatile enough in the pass game. Bijan Robinson is kind of the prototype. Saquon Barkley is another one. You have to be able to go out and line up and play slot. I've got to talk myself into believing you could be Christian McCaffrey.
And that's a valid point. And honestly, I appreciate that lesson. I was questioning. I was like, I don't know. I mean, running backs don't really go that high anymore.
The last prototype running back that wasn't a pass catcher, that was just kind of a downhill fuck you up running back, was our boy from LSU, Leonard Fournette. And honestly, if you go back, are the Jags stoked that they blew a top 10 pick with that one? I think there's regret.
Whoa. Those Jaguars almost made a Super Bowl, okay? They should have made a Super Bowl. What was that year? No, you're 100% right.
You don't buy running backs, you lease them. Now, Getty is fucking so good at this. You can't get him on the ground. He's this little fucking bowling ball. His legs just keep turning over. His legs kind of move like Kyler Murray's, where they don't get off the ground a ton.
Oh, I know. No stride, just like a boat engine.
He's fucking incredible. And to your point, Hawaii, their team, if you beat them bad early, they're going to lay down for you. If you keep them in the game, especially at their place, UCLA found this lesson the hard way. They're going to play you tough all the way to the last snap. But Boise State, with their ability just to get first downs with this kid over and over again, this Boise State team that just covered this number against Washington State and was basically the Group of 5 championship. I think Boise State now easily controls their own destiny all the way to the playoff. They got to beat, Liberty by the committee when it's all said and done. But yeah, I had not seen this pick before, and I'm adding it to my own personal card, not our show card, but my personal card. Boise State minus 20.5, absolutely.
All right, the one magical pick that the chat talked about. This is 1 for my buddy in the chat and 2 for my buddy that I call my oldest brother, Blake, who's an LSU alum. Give me the Tigers points against Ole Miss at LSU. They're going to Death Valley, and Ole Miss does not want it. Give me them Tigers, baby. I love that pick. Thank you. Shout out Plarps. He's in the chat. He's firing. Shout out you.
Brian Kelly preseason, when talking about LSU, could not hide the shit-eating grin he had on his face the entire time. He really thought he had a national championship level roster entering the season, which is crazy to think when you lost 2 first-round wide receivers and you lost Jaden Daniels last year, your Heisman winner. Crazy to think you lost 3 of all that offensive production, and you thought you were going to come back and be better this season. That's why you get the big reaction from him in the press conference when they get beat by USC, because they thought they were the better team that day.
I think they were.
100%. They fucked around late in the third.
Found out.
And then it became a game of toggling possessions in the fourth. You end up getting beat. But yeah, I think LSU is an undervalued team. I think their quarterback's actually a decent player. I don't think he's given his due. I don't think he's a pro prospect by any means, but I think he's kind of that Miller Moss, where if you're calling a good game, that's the kind of point guard you want to go out and distribute. And I think he's got some balls to him, Lance, which is a big deal in the fucking quarterback world, this transfer portal bullshit. This is a kid that stayed behind Jaden Daniels to play this role. These are the games you got to go out and win. Now, Ole Miss is also playing for their playoff lives, and they're a team I had penciled in to be a playoff team at the beginning of the season. This is going to be a all-time game. What a fucking Saturday we have in front of us. But fuck it, dude. Let's get nuts and take the Tigers. Absolutely.
Hey, plus 3.5. You get points, and this has got to be a dogfight.
Yeah, Vegas does not appreciate what a good team LSU is. There's, in my opinion, maybe too much love for Lane Kiffin. So fucking hey, let's let it rip. And you know what? I like let's take the points, because we are yet to get an epic playoff game so far this year where we get to the 2-point conversions. So let's get to a triple overtime game, and let's take LSU.
That would be electric. In Death Valley, just fucking dot show from Dart and whatever, Newsemeyer or whatever it is. Yeah. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, he's got a little cannon on him. Like, he has zip when he's throwing these balls. He's a good player. He's pretty damn good. All right, Jack. You're Mr. Saturday is what I'm going to call you, especially after that performance last week. I'm calling you Mr. Saturday. I want you to rock it. Do you want to go into each pick, or do you want to rocket fire?
You can come back and we can go through the specifics. I'm just going to go through each pick, give a quick little one-liner as to why they're working, and we'll fly through mine. And then we'll go back and cover them, and then we can do the same thing with Sundays. Let you fly through yours, and then we'll come back and cover them.
Sounds like a plan.
An important distinction, chat, for today's deal. Obviously, Lance and I are gambling like maniacs constantly. A lot of action, a lot of lines being talked about as we go over the thing. But there's got to be some back and forth with you guys. When we say we're going to make picks, we've got to actually make them, and we got to start making some money as a team here. Lance and I, you guys in the chat, everyone a part of the Wanna Parlay podcast, let's start making some actual money. So here's what we're doing. We're starting with $1,000. We're starting with $50 units. As we start feeling ourselves, we might go extra units on multiple games, but that's where we're starting. No unit shaming. Back the fuck off me. $50 units, $1,000 start.
I'm ready
when we get hot, once we go grow this bitch too. When we're all fucking 100,000-aires, we're rendezvousing in the Bahamas for a fucking party, the Wanna Parlay podcast. And with that being said, we're coming off a 4-1 Saturday. Here we go, baby. Another 4-1 or better Saturday. Hopefully 5-0 rolling right at you. So it begins. BYU, Arizona, under 48.5. Arizona offense seriously misunderstood. This is not the offense of last year. This is Brent Brennan's offense. Last couple of weeks, it's been 22, 23, 7, and 22. I like this number. I like BYU's defense a ton. I like BYU to win the game, but the under 48.5 is way too many for these two teams. Take the under. Iowa, Washington, staying on the under theme. It's an Iowa under, people. Iowa at home, don't overthink it. And go check out Washington's box scores. They haven't been scoring a lot either. Under 42.5 all day. South Florida, +7 versus Memphis. I'm getting them at home. USF is a well-coached team. This is going to be a get-right game for them. Big losses, by the way, if you go back. It's Bama, Miami, and a good Tulane team. This is a damn good USF team. They're misunderstood, disrespected. I like them to cover 7 at home. West Virginia +3 versus Iowa State. Morgantown, the big spot. Trust West Virginia right here. Also Iowa State. Their most impressive game so far has been against Iowa. Not exactly the cream of the crop team. Everyone's talking about the Cyclones like they're a playoff team. I don't see it. I like West Virginia with the points here. And then Kansas State -3.5 at Colorado. Congrats to Colorado on the UCF win. Thank you for making this line what it is, because this is bullshit. Kansas State all day on this number. All fucking day. They're the standard bearer of the conference. Give me the Cats.
Boom, Jack. Boom. All right, let them
Over-unders
know.
bum me out. I'll say it. Over-unders bum me the fuck out. I'm trying to make guaranteed picks here. And those are smart guy takes. Those are mid-season defenses catching up with offense. We've got enough good film out there. I like the unders, though, candidly, they always stress me the fuck out.
Yeah, the unders are just a tough life to live. I will say, insider info from the chat. I got a buddy that has someone working with the U of A football team, and they got 5 defensive starters in boots.
Ooh. Okay.
Little interesting. I'd say
honestly,
stand with it. Because your reasoning wasn't that BYU or that Arizona was going to contain BYU. It's BYU containing Arizona. I could see this game being 31-7. They're going to Mormon land.
Yeah, the one-sided game that's kind of the argument against this is when BYU beat Kansas State, that game would have covered this number on the overside. So it wouldn't have, the under would not have hit. But I think that was a night where everything went right in Provo and just the fucking lid was off the roof. That's a night they housed that freak show punt return and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Expect it to be a little bit normal of a game here. BYU is just the better team. And then BYU's offense, again, going back to that Kansas State night, I know they've been scoring big points as of late, but that's because their run game is so effective. I think their quarterback is average as the day is long. I think Arizona is going to hang in there. A lot of people like Arizona actually to win this game outright. Little BYU disrespect there for me. Nobody goes into Provo and wins when you're not the better team.
I was going to say, because BYU's look pretty damn good this year.
And when the difference between them at home and away is like they're a fucking NFL team at home when they're good. They're damn good at home. It's a tough place to go play. You get the fucking 1, loud as shit. 2, shitty locker room. 3, altitude. You want no part of fucking any of that. And then somehow those guys just live off their own fucking soil and they just ball when they're playing at home. They're unbelievable. So it's BYU on the number. And then, that underball. This is a different Arizona team. And when you take T-Mac out of it, there's no explosive. There's absolutely no explosive. This number should have hit last week against Texas Tech, who's way worse defense than BYU and way worse offensively, the ability just to keep the ball and not keep handing it back and giving multiple possessions. I really like this number. I like it more than the 42.5 with the Iowa-Washington. And I think Iowa-Washington's pretty fucking easy. Go back at Washington against Rutgers, Washington against Washington State. It's an offense, even Washington against Michigan. It's an offense that's been sleepy. Now they got to go on the road in a hostile environment in Iowa. And it's an Iowa team that is going to invite all that stuff. They want to take the fucking possessions down anyway. So this clock's going to get going fast. 42.5. It's a don't overthink it. And thank God, once again, this is another one where we're getting a nice little chef's kiss from Vegas, a little boosted line that we got to take advantage of. Because Iowa's game last week against Ohio State should have been under all day long. Late points, some late touchdowns in the second half from Ohio State kick that game over. This game should be 37.5, not 42.5.
Fuck. I mean, you got me convinced. That sounds damn good to me. I mean, I didn't see anything explosive from Washington when they played Michigan. It was just the quarterback just played catch better than the other team. I mean, Michigan just literally can't play catch.
Yeah, and then that Colorado pick, I'm really excited about. If Shadur balls,
the chat loved the Colorado pick. They're just spamming like Shadoodoo. That's what they call Shadur. Shadoodoo.
If I get burned on Shadoodoo, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, you got to live with it.
This is a Kansas State team that if you go look at who's going to get out of the Big 12 and be their playoff representative, Kansas State's still on a very short list. This is the top tier of this conference. And we're starting to get to the place where these teams have to start revealing themselves and winning big-time games like this. Colorado beat a UCF team. I did some digging on this UCF team. Their best win is a comeback win against TCU.
Oh.
TCU is in the fucking shits right now.
Yeah, TCU's not very good.
TCU's best wins against Stanford. So I don't see it for this Colorado team. I think it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. Congrats on the good start and the record. But this Kansas State team is the varsity version of the JV that was that South Dakota State team that went in and pushed them around in game 1. So I think this Kansas State team is going to run the shit out of the ball. I think they're going to beat the fuck out of that O-line and get to Shedeur a ton. This is Kansas State with this number all day long.
No, I mean, me, myself, and all, as well as the chat, we all love the pick. I got Papa Plarp says BYU or Ohio or Iowa State is winning the Big 12. What are your thoughts on that?
I like BYU. I don't like Iowa State.
You don't like Iowa State. Hey, that's valid. Well, there you go, Papa. I hope you heard that, because he doesn't like Iowa State. And you made a great point that their greatest win was Iowa. And I mean, that game is so hard
to watch. That game.
Yeah.
We were on the Iowa side. Iowa had that game. I mean,
I remember. Yeah.
It was like 19-10 with like 5 minutes to go. It was like, all right, high fives, way to go. We're just geniuses. And then fucking blew it.
Just shit down their leg. God damn it. God damn it. All right. Well, I like all these picks. It sounds like I should get into Sunday.
Yeah, get into Sunday. And once again, people, all those picks I just laid out, we're betting those, and that's going to be our show budget. We're starting with a cool G. We're starting with $1,000. We're going $50 units to start. We might raise or lower that depending on how scary or fun this all gets. But we're starting with $1,000. We got 50 out on each of those 5 games we just listed.
Yep.
And by the way, we'll probably sprinkle 50 out on Texas, Oklahoma as well.
Oh, I'll wait. Yeah. So to repeat that again, he's $50 on the bets on Jack's Saturdays and my Sundays. Those are what we're betting on. I know I made picks about the Saturday before. We're not betting those. Not my Saturday picks. Jack's Saturday, we call him Mr. Saturday, and I'm Sunday. So right now we're going into Sunday picks, and this is what we're using that money on. So I'm a little nervous, and now I'm like, oh God, I started fucking backtracking, but no, we're locked in. Last time when I wasn't confident, I went 4-1. All right, starting off. Bears -1.5 at home versus Jacksonville. Defense is legit. Lawrence is a fraud. That's what I got. That's why I'm taking Bears -1. Packers -4.5. Packers are just a better team. Browns +9.5 at Eagles. It's a lot. 9.5 is a lot of points for the Eagles to cover, and they haven't looked impressive enough to cover that number. Commanders +6.5 versus the Ravens. Jaden Daniels is him. The Ravens give up fucking comebacks in the fourth quarter, whether they lose or not. 6.5 is a lot of points. And Derrick Henry's going to have trouble with that interior D-line because they're the highest paid in football for a reason. Next, Colts +2.5 at Titans. Honestly, I wanted to go Titans, but the AFC South's just weird in these divisional matchups, so I'm just going to sneak Colts right in there, and I think they come away with a win. There's my Sunday. Did we lose Jack? Well, shit. I think we lost Jack. I don't know. Oh. I thought he was just sitting there staring at me the whole time. I was like, shit. Those picks might have sucked. That was hilarious, Jack. It was just frozen on your face, staring at me right after I made the picks, and it looked like you were just like astonished by that I even spoke. And I was just like, what happened?
I left you hanging in there. I'm so sorry. We got it fixed.
So where did I leave off that you heard? I got through them, but
just getting straight into the Sunday picks. How'd they go?
Oh, they went great. I went Bears -1.5, Jacksonville. Bears defense at home. Lawrence is a fraud. Those two to get combined to go with Bears -1.5. Packers -4.5. Packers are just a better team. I'm betting on them. Browns +9.5 at Eagles. Eagles aren't impressive enough to cover 9.5 to me, and I think 9.5 is a lot of points even against the Browns. Commanders +6.5 versus the Ravens. Jaden Daniels is him. Washington hammer. Washington's interior D-line is the most paid in football for a reason. Derrick Henry in that run game is going to have trouble. And even if they do run away with the lead, they give up comebacks. So 6.5 is a lot of points. Colts +2.5 at Titans. I wanted to go Titans, but honestly, the AFC South is weird, and I don't think they win. So I took the Colts.
Dude, I know this is the first time we're doing this. I want to go 2 units on the Commanders.
I know. We might have to see how Saturday goes.
Yeah, we'll come up with an emergency press conference of like, shit, we're up 250. We're going big. We're taking Vegas. We got them by the balls. We're going. All right. So really quick, that's my favorite pick on here by a lot. 6.5 for Jaden Daniels right now. And this
I didn't
defense
get
has
it.
looked great.
I know. The Commanders have been a good roster for the past 2 to 3 years, and they just haven't had a quarterback. And now they have one of the best quarterbacks, it feels like.
And I'm supposed to believe the Ravens just turned a page because they beat the shitty Bengals who choked that game to them.
I don't get it.
I don't get it at all.
If the holder could just catch a snap and put it down normally, and we could kick a field goal, I feel like this line honestly is 2.5.
100%. Next one I like in order. I'm going in order of locks to probable locks because all these are going to cash.
Yeah.
Browns plus 9.5 at the Eagles. Eagles have been in a weird spot. Sometimes it's noise and you think they're going to get right. Sometimes it's real, and it's starting to feel pretty fucking real over there in Philly. I don't think they're right at all. They're certainly not healthy. So it's not a great Eagles team we're going against here. And we're getting a Browns team that it's a perfect time to get them. It's like right after a coach gets fired is a great time to jump in. Which, by the way, we should look at the Jets. And then the other one is new quarterback. Remember Andy Dalton coming into the deal. Something similar to happen there. We're changing the play callers potentially this week for the Browns. They're going back and readjusting their offense. We're going to get kind of a new look offense with the Browns this week. 9.5. Fuck yeah. I love that one. Colts plus 2.5 at Titans. Colts need to win. They're too good of a team. They need to win. The Titans, we've called it from the beginning, as fun and exciting they are, they're drafting in the top 5. The Colts think they're a playoff team. And, Joe Flacco, hero effort to come back and cover against the Jags last week. But, yeah, the Colts got to actually go win a game here. Divisional one on the road. They know this team well. I like the Colts getting points because I think they should be favored in this game. I wouldn't mind taking the Colts straight up. Next one, Bears minus 1.5 versus Jacksonville. Yeah, Jacksonville's no good. And the Bears finally look like they're coming alive on offense, and their defense is that good. The Jags offense has been what it's been, and the Bears defense has been a top 5 defense in the league. Both those things are undeniable. So I like the Bears here. It's a matter of what Caleb Williams we get, and I think we'll know early in that game. But I think we're starting on the right side there. And then your Packers bet, the Cardinals have been such a fucking tough team to bet for or against this year because Kyler Murray's so dynamic. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. I will say we're betting on one of my favorite coaches in the league, and Matt LaFleur. You're getting Jordan Love in his 3rd week now being back and healthy, so finally starting to catch their stride and get back to normal. I think this is probably right. And most importantly, this game's in Lambeau, which is going to affect a little bit of Kyler's legs. You're running on the long grass out there. And the Packers just always play well at Lambeau. So top to bottom, Lanny, way to go. Let me throw. So those are the picks we're actually going to go fucking play. I wanted just to throw 3 thoughts across people's desk right here. Just a couple random thoughts, okay? Texans minus 6.5 at the Patriots. You're getting Drake Mays starting this week for the Patriots.
Wait, but that's the quarterback switch. Should be the other way.
You're 100% right. What did I just fucking say? So Drake Mays Patriots. Drake Mays Patriots. Give them to me.
Come on, trust our logic.
Drake Mays Patriots. Now with the same logic, I don't know who's playing in the fucking Saints game. If we're getting
it's the rookie Rattler. No, Rattler. They're giving Rattler the nod. We want the Saints.
Let's take Rattler.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last one, Lance, giving ourselves a lot of credit.
New quarterback, O'Connell.
Lots of credit right here. The Raiders with a new quarterback in a fucked spot. We like the Raiders when they're fucked. Versus the Steelers, the team that should never get respect, in a spot they should win. It's the perfect marriage. We should put the mortgage on the Raiders.
Holy shit.
The shitty black and silver.
And I have Plarps in the chat right now firing for us to take the Steelers. He's shitting on Aiden O'Connell. He's saying it looks free.
We're taking the Boilermakers.
We're taking the Raiders.
I love you. I love you. I hope to see you at the USC game, partner, but it's fucking Raiders all day.
Patriots Steelers, Raiders. I love it. It is just beautiful.
Really quick, Lance, I'm just going to go speed through because now we've muddied the waters again. Okay. So before we close out and I remind people who powers this podcast, I want to remind people of how this podcast operates going forward, how we're going to handle these picks and structure them. And then the 10 picks we stand on business at this fucking podcast. And these 10 picks are the fucking business. Okay.
Yes,
we're going to
sir.
win $500 out the gate and start getting to maybe $200 units one of these days. Something sexy, something loud.
50 to 100, and then we'll talk 200. But you go ahead.
I want to play for fucking vacations, Lance. I don't want to pay for fucking Chipotle lunches anymore. I'm tired of winning bets and going, that's a Chipotle lunch. Who gives a shit?
Oh, yeah.
Tropical and fun. So once again, this podcast, we are the Wanna Parlay podcast. We are starting with $1,000. We are coming off a hot weekend. We both went 4-1. We are putting our money where our mouth is officially going forward. Here are your 10 picks. I am Mr. Saturday. Lance is Mr. Sunday. Here's what you like for Saturday. BYU, Arizona, take the under 48.5. Iowa, Washington, stay on that underball, baby, under 42.5. South Florida, +7 at home versus Memphis. Love it. West Virginia, +3 at home versus Iowa State. Taking 2 home dogs, baby. Love that all day. And then Kansas State -3.5 at Colorado. Go 5 for 5 on Saturday. Get yourself hot going into Sunday. Lance, tell them what they're betting on Sunday.
Sunday, let's go, folks. Bears -1.5 at home against Jacksonville. Lawrence is a fraud. Packers -4.5 versus Cardinals. Packers are the better team. Browns +9.5 at Eagles. That's a lot of points for this pathetic Eagles team so far. Commanders +6.5 versus Ravens. Ravens give up comebacks and Jaden Daniels is him. That's a lot of points. And Colts +2.5 at Titans. Colts need a win and they're getting one this Sunday. There's your picks, folks.
This is as well-researched and well-founded as a fucking card as we've ever had. I feel so good about us right now. I feel so good about us.
Yes, we are fired up.
Go, baby.
I'm so ready. I'm so ready for this. Oh, Papa's just so not happy about the Ohio State Oregon. It is so he is not letting up in the chat. He wants me.
It's not on the official card. It's just we gotta give honest, good feedback.
Exactly.
Official card.
The official card is what matters, folks. The official card is what matters. And Papa with a great idea. We're gonna put these picks in the Discord. We're gonna have them so anyone can access them and have them be live. We'll find a way to throw out that link for everyone. So we're going to have a way to stay active with these picks.
We can throw in our off-card sweeteners as well. Our Oklahomas, our Boise States, our Raiders, Black and Silva,
Raiders!
And our backup quarterback.
Oh, man. And the funniest one was how you... Literally the first pick, you're like, I like Texans at Patriots. I'm like, Drake May.
Why would I ever do that? What did I just fucking get done saying? Thank you for letting me see the light. This is all I need. God. All of a sudden therapy is giving a good case again. Just talk shit out. Just talk shit out. Be an adult.
Just spit it out. Oh, man. I love it. Oh, Jack, well, do you want to wrap it up with a little Wanna promo?
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, this podcast is brought to you and powered by Wanna Parlay, the home of the world's richest parlay and also the richest losers. Mind you, $2 to bet $2. You go 0 from 50 and still lose less money than you would fucking anywhere else. Not making the weird calls home for looking for rent payments. You're just making money. You're just having fun on Wanna Parlay. Main Event has juiced their odds up a little bit right now. Second place now going home with $1,000, no longer $500. Third place going home with $750. Fourth place now going home with $500. People are getting rich left, right, and center. Every week, someone's walking out the door after having 1,000 times their original investment. It's the place to come if you're ever going to place a parlay bet. We just gave you 10 great legs to fucking choose from. Come scatter those out across a couple picks. Give yourself a chance to go home with some big time money. And then, as always, the Pick 7 will be back up this week. The Wanna Parlay of the day is back up. As always. And then the VIP contest experience of a lifetime, the Wanna Wing House partnership. You got a chance, $2 to enter that bad boy, but the winner is getting 2 tickets, all expenses paid, to go to Monday Night Football, November 4th, Chiefs, Bucks. That is way more than $2,000, baby. Hotel, food, drink, sweet tickets. That's a good fucking time. Make sure you get yourself involved there if you're a football fan. And that is Wanna Parlay. This is the Wanna Parlay podcast. We got 10 picks. We're excited.
We're fired up, and we got 10 locks. So, folks, go book those in. We appreciate you showing out. And until next time.